Dr. Lena Ward stood in the control room of the deep-sea research vessel Horizon Blue. She had spent years studying the ocean floor, but nothing had ever surprised her like the strange signal that appeared on the sonar screen that morning. It was smooth, perfectly round, almost too perfect. Her assistant, Noah, leaned forward over the console. "Lena, this is not a rock. No natural shape looks like this." Lena stared at the circular outline glowing on the sonar. "How deep is it?" 6,000 meters. Noah answered quietly. "Almost at the trench line." Lena crossed her arms, thinking. The ocean was full of mysteries, but this was different. There was something unnatural about the reading. Something old. Something waiting. "Send the probe," she said. Noah typed a command, and a small underwater drone dropped into the water. The team watched the camera feed as it sank deeper and deeper. The sunlight vanished within minutes, replaced by total darkness. Only the drone's bright lights cut through the water as it descended. Lena felt a familiar mix of excitement and fear. The deeper the probe went, the stranger the world became. She watched the screen carefully as the probe neared the seafloor. 10 meters to target, Noah said. The drone's lights moved over sand and rocks until something smooth appeared. Smooth like metal, not stone. The view widened, showing a curved surface. It wasn't a boulder. It wasn't a formation. It was a structure. "Zoom out," Lena whispered. The camera pulled back, revealing more of the rounded shape. It stretched out in all directions. The surface was dark silver, covered in thin lines that looked almost like veins or circuits. The entire team went silent. Noah swallowed. "Dr. Ward, that's a sphere. A perfect sphere." "How big is it?" she asked. "About 200 meters wide." Lena stepped back from the screen. She had seen old submarine wrecks, ancient ship remains, and strange deep-sea creatures. But this was too clean, too smooth, too perfect. Something like this couldn't be human-made. Nothing humans built stayed this flawless underwater. "Check for radiation or heat," she said. A few seconds later, Noah replied, "Tiny energy pulses. Very weak. But they're coming from inside." That made Lena's heart beat faster. If something inside was producing energy, then the structure wasn't dead. It wasn't just lying there. It was sleeping. "Send the probe closer," she said. The drone drifted along the surface, its lights showing more details. Strange marks, symbols, shapes they didn't recognize. The lines across the metal glowed faintly as the probe passed, almost like the structure sensed movement. "What is this thing?" Noah whispered. Lena didn't answer. Her mind raced through every possibility: submarine, old weapon, natural bubble, volcanic shape, but nothing fit. This felt intentional. Designed, placed. A small vibration ran across the sonar screen. "What was that?" Noah asked. The object reacted. Lena said slowly, like it felt the probe. The drone moved toward a thin crack in the sphere's side. It wasn't natural damage. It looked more like a seam, an outline of a hatch. As the drone got closer, the symbols around it flickered with light. Mia, another technician, stepped back. "Lena, maybe we should stop." "No," Lena said. "We have to understand what this is." The probe moved inches from the seam, and then the sphere pulsed. The drone's camera flashed white, then cleared. The seam slowly shifted. The metal plates began to move apart, opening like an enormous iris. Lena's breath caught in her throat. It was an entrance. Noah stared in disbelief. It opened for us. Why would it open for us? Lena shook her head. Maybe it recognizes something in the probe. Or maybe it's reacting to human technology. The drone floated forward into the opening. The inside was dark, but not empty. The walls shined with soft blue lines that moved like living veins. It felt like the sphere was breathing, alive in some strange mechanical way. "Are we sure this isn't a submarine?" Mia whispered. "No submarine looks like this," Lena said. The hall inside stretched out like a tunnel. The drone's lights touched strange structures hanging from the ceiling, almost like pods or devices resting in sleep. None of them moved. A faint energy wave passed through the tunnel, making the drone's camera flicker. "Lena," Noah said, voice shaking. This thing is still active. Lena nodded slowly. She had known that from the start. Something as perfect as this didn't rest under the ocean for thousands of years without purpose. What should we do now? Mia asked. Lena stared at the screen, at the impossible structure waiting quietly beneath the ocean. Mark the coordinates, she said. We're going down there ourselves. The team looked at her with shock, but Lena's expression stayed firm. She didn't know what they would find or what waited inside the sphere, but she knew one thing. This discovery would change the world, and whatever lay beneath the ocean was ready for them now. Lena stood on the edge of the submersible platform, feeling the cold ocean wind on her face. The surface waves looked calm, but she knew what waited below was anything but calm. The hidden sphere, no, the ship, had opened its entrance for them. She could not explain why, but she felt a kind of pull, like the ship wanted them to come. Noah checked the oxygen tanks and looked at her nervously. Are you sure we should go inside that thing? It opened on its own. That's not normal. Lena gave a small smile. Nothing about this is normal. That's why we're here. They climbed into the small deep-sea sub, and the hatch closed with a heavy metallic click. The inside lights glowed soft blue. Mia sat at the controls, her hands shaking slightly. Descending now, Mia said. The sub slowly sank through the water, leaving the bright surface behind. Dark blue turned into black. Only the sub's front lights allowed them to see anything. The silence grew heavier the deeper they went. Outside, no fish swam, no sound echoed. It felt like the ocean itself was holding its breath. After a long descent, the silver sphere came into view again. It looked enormous in the darkness, its smooth surface shining under the sub's lights like the skin of some giant creature. There it is, Noah whispered. The entrance that had opened yesterday still waited. A wide circular door leading into the ship. It looked like a glowing mouth, silent and patient. Blue light pulsed from the inside, gentle and slow, as if the ship was asleep. Mia guided the sub closer until it hovered just outside the entrance. Ready? Lena asked. No one answered, but they all nodded. They opened the bottom hatch of the sub and carefully stepped out in their diving suits. Their suits had strong lights, but even those seemed small inside the strange opening. When they entered the ship, the temperature changed suddenly. The water felt warmer. The walls around them glowed faintly with moving blue lines, like veins full of energy. The corridor was tall and curved, built for beings much larger than humans. Lena swam forward slowly. Do you feel that? She asked. Like the ship is alive, Noah whispered. The deeper they moved, the more unreal the place felt. The walls were metal, but soft to the touch, almost like warm stone. Symbols they didn't understand shifted slowly across the surfaces. It felt like walking inside a heart, quiet, pulsing, ancient. They reached a wide chamber. The floor was covered in round platforms, each holding a pod. Some pods were open and empty. Others were closed and covered in dust-like particles. But one pod was different. It glowed with a brighter light. Lena floated closer. Inside the pod lay a figure, tall, thin, with metallic skin and long lines of blue light running across the body. The face looked almost human, but smoother, more elegant. The eyes were closed. Noah gasped, Is it alive? Lena placed a hand gently on the pod surface. The blue lines inside the pod brightened. I think it is, she whispered. Before they could say more, the chamber lights changed. The soft blue turned into white, almost like the ship had sensed their presence. The floor vibrated under them, not violently, but like a heartbeat growing stronger. Mia grabbed Lena's arm. Something's happening. A soft hum filled the chamber. The ship's walls shifted and light patterns began to move, forming symbols in the air. The symbols floated like tiny stars. They rearranged themselves and showed images, planets, star systems, strange creatures, battles, explosions in space. The crew watched in silence. It's showing us memories, Noah realized. Then one image stayed longer. A giant dark ship, shaped like a blade, cutting through the stars. The energy in the room changed. Even without understanding, they felt fear from the image. Something else happened then. The pod with the alien began to glow more brightly. The figure inside opened its eyes slowly. They glowed a soft white blue. The alien stared at the humans through the pod glass. Its expression was calm but tired. It lifted a hand weakly. The glass reacted, slowly pulling back. Lena stepped closer, heart pounding. The alien's voice came out soft, broken, but clear. "You are early," it whispered. "Humans were not meant to find us yet." Lena felt her breath catch. "Who are you? What is this place?" The alien blinked slowly. "A warning left for your world. We hid here to protect you." "Protect us from what?" Noah asked. The alien's eyes dimmed slightly. "From what destroyed us," it said. "From what is coming back." The ship trembled softly again, as if agreeing. Before the alien closed its eyes again, it said one last thing. "This ship chose you." Lena stared at the glowing walls around her. The sleeping ship wasn't sleeping anymore, and whatever it had been hiding was something the world was not ready for. The alien lay weak inside the open pod, its glowing eyes slowly fading. Lena knelt beside it, trying to understand what it had told them. Noah and Mia stood close, afraid to move, afraid to speak. The ship's lights were no longer calm. They pulsed with faster rhythms, as if the whole structure had awakened after centuries of sleep. Then the lights in the chamber shifted again, gathering into a bright point in the center of the room. The glowing point expanded into a floating sphere of light. Symbols and shapes moved inside it, turning and changing every second. "What is that?" Mia whispered. The alien lifted its hand weakly. "The message," it said. "It will show you." The sphere brightened. Lines of light shot across the walls, creating a giant projection around them. Lena felt the air change. The water felt warmer, more alive. She held Noah's arm as the images formed. The first image showed Earth, calm and peaceful, floating in space. The second showed a massive black shape moving toward Earth. It was the same blade-shaped ship they saw before, silent, cold, and terrifying. Lena felt her chest tighten. "That's the same ship from earlier." The alien nodded slowly. "Destroyers from a far place. Thousands of years, they hunted worlds. We fought and we lost." More images appeared. Strange alien cities filled with tall, metallic people like the one before them. Then the blade-shaped ships arrived. The cities burned. Entire planets fell silent. Noah swallowed hard. This is like a warning. The alien's voice was weak but steady. "Yes, we escaped. Hit our last ships on young worlds. Worlds not yet found by the destroyers." The projection changed again. The alien worlds disappeared, replaced by Earth's oceans. A silver sphere sank into deep water, the same one they were standing inside. "We hid here," the alien said, waiting for the day humans would grow strong enough to understand. Lena stepped closer to the floating light sphere. New symbols appeared, and some of them changed into simple shapes, almost like the ship was trying to speak their language. A line of glowing marks floated in front of Lena. Mia frowned. "It wants us to touch it." Lena hesitated. Then she reached out. The moment her fingers touched the symbol, the lights around them flashed. A pulse shot through the room. Lena stumbled back, holding her head, her mind filled with visions, stars, galaxies, paths through space, maps of unknown worlds, and warnings of great danger. Noah grabbed her. "Lena, are you okay?" She opened her eyes slowly. I saw things. The ship showed me something. A path, a weapon, a way to stop them." Mia stared. "Stop who?" Lena pointed at the projection of the blade-shaped destroyer ship. The alien stood shakily in its pod, supported by the glowing metal behind it. "The ship has chosen you. Only humans can use the final defense. We designed it so your kind would not be harmed." "Why us?" Noah asked. "Why humans?" The alien's eyes softened. "Because you have something we lost. Hope." Before they could respond, the ship shook again. The lights dimmed, then returned brighter than before. The floating sphere of symbols broke apart, and formed new shapes. These new shapes were clearer, almost like instructions. Mia squinted. It looks like a message for all humans. The alien nodded. The ship is sending a signal. To your satellites. To your leaders. It is telling them the truth. Noah panicked. Wait! People will freak out. They will think it's an attack. The alien shook its head slowly. It must be done. They must prepare. You are out of time. Lena felt a cold fear rise in her chest. Are the destroyers coming now? The alien closed its eyes. We detected movement long ago, before we slept. They travel slowly, but they always arrive. The chamber lights turned red for a moment, then back to blue. A deep sound echoed through the walls, like a heartbeat mixed with thunder. Mia whispered, "What was that?" The alien stood straighter, its glowing lines brightening. The ship has received a signal from space. Something is moving. Something big. Lena stared at the alien. The destroyers? The alien answered with silence. The projection then showed a final image. Earth, surrounded by strange symbols. A countdown. A warning. The alien looked at them, its voice almost gone. You must lead your people. We will help, but this world is now part of the war. Lena felt the weight of the message heavy in her chest. Everything had changed. The ocean, the ship, the alien, and now, the fate of Earth rested in their hands. The ship grew louder with every passing second. The deep pulse inside its walls felt stronger, like a heartbeat waking after a long sleep. Lena stood still, listening to the strange rhythm. It sounded like something alive, something preparing for danger. Noah checked the readings on his scanner. The numbers were jumping wildly. This ship is powering up, he said. It's using energy we've never seen. Mia moved closer to the alien, who was weak but watching them carefully. Is this because of the signal? Did the destroyers see us? The alien's eyes glowed brighter for a moment. They see everything, it said quietly. If they sense the ship waking, they will come faster. Lena felt fear crawl up her spine. How much time do we have? The alien did not answer. Instead, the ship responded for it. A loud vibration shook the floor. The glowing lines under their boots lit up in bright patterns. The walls formed new shapes, opening vents and revealing strange devices. It looked like the ship was coming alive piece by piece. Noah pointed at a large structure rising from the floor. What is that? The alien turned slowly toward it. Defense Corps, it said. It was made to protect the last worlds. The Defense Corps glowed with a strong blue light. Small drones floated out of the walls and circled around the core. They looked harmless, like silver insects, but their movements were sharp and careful. Mia stepped back. Are they dangerous? They protect, the alien said, but only those the ship accepts. Lena looked around nervously. Does the ship accept us? The alien looked at her with calm eyes. It chose you. It showed you the message. It trusts you. Before she could ask more, the projection returned to the center of the chamber. It showed the same blade-shaped destroyer ship, but now it was clearer, closer, and bigger. The edges glowed red like burning metal. Noah stared at it. That thing is huge. Mia whispered. Is it already coming? The alien touched the wall beside its pod. A soft tone echoed, and new images appeared, dots, paths, and signals. Lena realized it was a map of the destroyer's movement. They sleep for long ages, the alien explained. But when they wake, they spread across space. Slowly, silently. Lena pointed at the map. This line, does it mean they change direction? The alien nodded. Yes, they heard something. A signal. Maybe from us. Maybe from the ship. Mia felt her throat tighten. So they're heading here now? Not yet, the alien said. But soon. The ship's lights flashed red again. This time, it was louder, clearer, like an alarm. The chamber walls shifted, forming new openings that led deeper into the ship. Noah looked at the alien. What is it doing now? Preparing. The alien said, it knows danger's near. Lena took a deep breath. We need to warn the surface. If the world doesn't prepare, we won't stand a chance. But the alien shook its head. Your people will fear. They will fight each other before the enemy arrives. Then what do we do? Mia asked. The alien pointed toward one of the new openings. There's a control room. It can show you everything. It can help you understand what must be done. They exchanged glances, unsure but determined. Lena led the way. The tunnel they entered was bright and smooth. The walls pulsed gently as if welcoming them. When they reached the end of the tunnel, the room opened into a wide chamber filled with floating screens. The screens reacted to their presence, lighting up with symbols and images they had seen before. Noah stepped toward a glowing console. I think I can read some of this. The ship translated parts of its system into simple symbols. Mia pointed at one of the screens. It showed Earth, surrounded by lines of data. Another screen showed energy waves moving through the ocean. The ship is scanning the planet, she said. Maybe it's checking if Earth can defend itself. Lena stepped closer to a large screen in the center. When she touched it, the image changed. She saw the destroyer ship again, this time clearly moving through space. Slow and unstoppable. They don't rush, Lena said softly. They don't need to. They know the fear will grow. The alien entered behind them, leaning against the wall. They wait for panic. Fear makes worlds weak. Lena turned to it. But humans are different. We panic, yes, but we also fight back. The alien watched her with a tired smile. That is why we hit our last hope here. A sudden shock ran through the ship. The lights dimmed, then glowed brighter than ever. Noah checked the scans. His face turned pale. Something entered the system. Mia froze. What do you mean? A ship? Noah nodded slowly. A small one, but it's the same shape, the same signature. Lena felt her heart drop. The destroyers had sent a scout. The alien's voice shook. It has begun. The ship responded instantly. Walls sealing, defenses rising, energy building like a storm. The threat was no longer far away. It was awake, and it was coming for Earth. The ship shook again as the scout's signal grew stronger. Lena felt the floor vibrate under her boots. It was like the ocean itself was warning them. Noah checked the readings again, but the numbers were so high they made no sense. Mia stood close to the alien, who was breathing weakly but watching everything with sharp eyes. The scout is close, Noah said. Maybe only minutes away. Lena looked toward the screens, which showed the dark shape moving through space. It was smaller than the destroyer ships they saw earlier, but still terrifying. Smooth, sharp, and silent. A hunter, Mia whispered. If this is only the scout, what happens when the real ships arrive? The alien held on to the wall for balance. If the scout finds us, it will call the others. You must stop it. You must act now. Lena felt fear, but she also felt something else. Determination. She looked at the glowing console in the control room. The ship had shown the messages, warnings, and maps. Maybe it could do more. She stepped forward. This ship chose us for a reason. It wanted humans to finish what your people started. The alien nodded slowly. Yes, this ship holds a final defense. But it needs a human mind to activate it. Someone with will. Someone with hope. Lena felt everyone's eyes turn to her, but she shook her head. Not just me. We all do this together. The ship lights pulsed in agreement, as if it heard her words. Noah studied the main screen. There's a power core here, some kind of energy weapon, but it needs a living connection. A human has to sync with it. Before Lena could respond, the ship's alarm grew louder. The scout signal flashed bright red on the screen. It was already entering the solar system. Mia looked at the alien. What happens if we connect with the core? You will see what the ship sees. Feel what it feels. You will guide its energy. Lena took a deep breath. And if I fail? The alien's eyes softened. Then this world will fall as ours did. Silence filled the chamber. Then Lena stepped forward. She placed her hand on the glowing console. The ship responded instantly, sending bright light through her fingers, up her arm, and into her chest. Mia gasped. Noah tried to step toward her, but the alien held out a weak hand. Let her, it whispered. The ship has chosen. Lena's eyes widened as images filled her mind. Stars, burning worlds, broken ships, and an Earth glowing bright blue. She saw the scout ship approaching like a shadow across the sky. She felt the ship's voice, calm and patient, inside her thoughts. It did not speak in words, but in feelings, trust, strength, and final hope. She whispered, "Show me what to do." The control room transformed. Panels opened. Energy rose like wind swirling through water. The defense core in the main chamber powered up, glowing like a rising sun. Noah shielded his eyes. "It's charging." Mia held onto the wall. "Lena, can you control it?" Lena did not answer with words. Instead, she lifted her hand, and the ship moved with her. Energy streams formed patterns around her like constellations. The ship was no longer just a machine. It was alive, and she was part of it. She saw the scout ship entering the edge of Earth space. It scanned, searched, hungry to find a hidden ship. Lena focused. The ship responded. She guided the energy into a sharp, bright pulse. It aimed itself toward the sky. The moment she released it, a beam shot upward through the ocean, cutting through water like light through glass. Above, in space, the scout ship turned sharply as if it sensed danger. Too late. The beam struck it with silent force. The small destroyer ship cracked, split in two, and dissolved into glowing dust. Noah stared, shocked. "You did it!" Mia looked at Lena with wide eyes. "You saved Earth." But the alien shook its head. "This was only the scout. More will come. But now your world knows." As if answering his words, the ship sent a final message through the ocean. It traveled to satellites, networks, and screens across the world. Humans everywhere saw the same image. Earth, a warning, and a path to survive. The world panicked, yes, but also united. Scientists, soldiers, leaders, and ordinary people saw the truth. They saw the danger, and they saw that someone had already taken the first step. Lena felt the ship slowly release her connection. Her legs shook, but Noah caught her before she fell. "You did amazing," he said. Mia smiled with relief. "Because of you, humanity has a chance." The alien looked at her with grateful eyes. "You have claimed your future. You have shown strength where we once failed." Lena looked at the glowing walls of the ship. The ocean felt calmer now. The threat was still out there, but Earth was no longer blind or silent. "Then we keep fighting," she said softly. Noah placed a hand on her shoulder. "Together." Mia nodded. "Humanity won't run. We stand." The alien smiled. "Then perhaps the destroyers will learn. Humans are not easy prey." The ship hummed softly, alive and ready. Earth had awakened. And now, humanity would write its own future.